Two of our castmates almost fought. Do you want to pay-per-view it, or do you want to just put it out?
If that really happened, I really think
See, look, you wouldn't know, right? 'Cause you're in here having a blast.
it's
In there
true. And if we
having a
do have
slice.
that, hold on, if that really did happen,
And now my girl is texting me. I'm in trouble. She's seen me pop up in here. I didn't call her because I came in here to tell you to call me. My whole life is just in, it's going down the toilet. I'm going to call my future wife, and then I'll come back and play with y'all. I'm in trouble. Look now. A
Oh,
come
fight
on,
happened.
Shante, give him a break.
No, she's seen my name. My girl get every notification of my every movement. So she's seen Joe in here talking to Danny and Ian. She texts me, gotta be kidding me. And now I'm in trouble. So everything is awry already. It's
Oh,
over. I just came on stage to tell you to give me a call whenever you can. Ian, you got a good sit down coming with me. I ain't gonna lie.
oh.
I can't wait.
Joe Budden reveals two of his co-hosts almost fought. Now, Joe Budden would make this startling revelation on the Spaces with me, and I must say, while some may think it's content over everything, I believe that something did happen. Now, how this all played out is that Ian Schwartzman, Joe Budden's manager and co-founder of the Joe Budden Network, was on stage, and Joe Budden would go on stage and tell Ian, call me. Call me as soon as you can. You have been ignoring my messages. I need to talk to you. And it was interesting because I did kind of feel like, oh, Joe's just working us. He's trying to, make things seem a certain way that they aren't. But as the call or as the space kept going, I felt like, oh, wait, this is real. I do think something happened between two of the co-hosts, and everything that happened after that to me revealed that there was some validity to what Joe was saying, and he wasn't necessarily playing around the whole way. He then says that his girl was upset because she spoke to him seemingly after this situation happened with regards to the two co-hosts. We all know Joe has said publicly on the podcast that he loves to pillow talk. So I assume everybody that has gone through something on the show, Joe has talked to his girl about. Like, I'm sure Joe's girl knows exactly what happened with Melissa Ford, but that's a conversation for another video. Now, while this conversation on Spaces was odd, what was even odder was when he went on Instagram and posted a picture of Mr. Beast, and it would say, just a reminder to smile through it all, but remain a beast. Deleting this shortly. Now, there could be some significance to this. Like, why would Joe post a picture of Mr. Beast and then take it down? Also, if you remember, Mr. Beast had a situation in his company where a bunch of former employees were trashing him, saying he cultivated a toxic work environment where people felt pressured to engage in acts for entertainment. So is Joe alluding to that? Also, Mr. Beast would handle his quote unquote cancellation by posting through it, making content, and never really addressing it in any like hardcore way. He would go on a channel and talk about it with somebody that he trusted, that he knew wouldn't take it there. Is Joe referencing that? Because I would assume Joe Budden is tapped in to what happened with Mr. Beast. Then there's a picture that would come from the set itself, and it was an interesting picture as it depicted Ice, Flip, Ish, Imani, and J1 at the set with Mona sitting next to J1. So that's another interesting thing. J1 has returned back. So what is going on, guys? Why is Joe in Park's seat? Why is Joe alluding to some type of fight that happened? Is Joe just taking us for a ride and wanted to center himself on the stage in order to garner the attention of the stage? Is this real? Did something occur? There was an urgency of Joe wanting to talk to Ian, which to me suggested that something did happen, and I don't think Joe would go to the extent of posting and deleting a picture of Mr. Beast. But who knows? Now, what scenario could have played out? Well, there is the picture that depicts Parks not being there. Could Joe and Parks have gotten into it? Also, who else may have gotten into it? I mean, Marc Lamont is in this picture. Could it have been Mark and Flip who have been joking on each other crazy? Could it have been that type of situation? I assume Flip is involved. if there's ever a fight, just because he likes to create tension, and that's kind of his bag. He uses tension as a form of conflict resolution, like the threat of a fight and also the subsequent attempts to stop a fight is how he manipulates things. Like, oh, I'm going to pretend like I'm going to fight somebody, and then everybody's going to break it up, and then I'm going to get my points across. It's a subtle manipulation that a lot of dudes who engage in conflict do. But let me know what you think. What do you think Joe was trying to accomplish by appearing on the space? I was taken aback. But for those of you saying that Joe wouldn't do this, because why would he reveal what's happening behind the scenes? I think Joe just has a brain where he can't keep things to himself, especially if he feels like it's going to lead to entertaining an audience, no matter if it actually might hurt his brand. I think when you look at some of the biggest blowups that have happened on the podcast, first there was the situation with Maul, right? Where he went up to Maul and he told him this show is none of your business after Maul asked him some questions. Then there was the situation where Joe Budden argued with Flip and threatened to fight him because Flip was acting unruly. Then there was multiple other situations where Joe likes to get at Ish and argue with him. Granted, in those cases, it never led to a full-blown fight, but I'm just outlining how just because something happened behind the scenes doesn't mean that Joe is going to hide it. Like, I'm sure Joe can't wait for the day that he reveals what really happened with Melissa Ford. Also very interesting for Joe to talk about what his girl was demanding that he do. Basically, it looked like she was mad that he was on stage with me, and just a lot of things going on the podcast. A lot of unruly, unsavory things. But let me know what you think in the comments. The rest of this conversation is on Patreon. Joe was there for about 5 to 10 minutes. So he left. That was the thing, is like he left and Ian left. And I presume they had the call that they were talking about. And the fact that they didn't come back, even though they said they would come back to the space, just reveals a lot. And I believe that something did happen. There was an almost fight. And my guess is that it was between Marc, Flip, maybe Parks was involved with Joe, because I just don't know why Joe is sitting in Park's seat. Who's doing the sound? Who's doing the engineering? Is Parks mediating things off camera? What was going on? With that said, follow me. I think I said that already, but tap in with the Patreon. Make sure that you go there because there's a lot of content. I just dropped 2 pods, and one of those pods I was breaking down the exit of Melissa Ford and going into deep detail about what may have happened. But it seems like there's even more tension brewing at the Joe Budden podcast. All right, y'all, this is Danny from The Stop. Peace.